Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here in TEDxDhaka. Okay, so as I was introduced about bicycles, so you already know what I'm going to talk about. But what you don't know are the facts and the figures that I'm going to share with you guys today, which is really astonishing. Okay, now, what if I tell you that you have the power in your hands to avail 12 work years in your life? What would you do with it? In 12 extra work years, someone can get another PhD. Someone can start, like world touring, or someone can start another business. So 12 more work years in your life. How can we avail that? So, being in Dhaka, who is stealing these 12 years from your and my life? Obviously, the traffic jam. The traffic jam scenario in Dhaka might be the biggest, traffic jams in this world. Some other talks, may disagree. Someone might say like Jakarta is the biggest traffic jam, but being here, being a citizen of Bangladesh and living in Dhaka from, from my childhood, I have seen like the traffic scenario has grown into like out of limits in Dhaka. Each and every day we waste enormous amount of our own personal time, our nation's time, let alone the oil that we burn over there and the extra stress that it puts in our life. So whenever we are in a traffic jam, we tend to feel that what are all these people doing over here? But we forget that we are also part of this traffic jam. We forget that we ourselves are a part of the problem than being a part of the solution. So my call to all the audience over here and for others who are seeing this, this video, to be a part of the solution than being a part of the problem. So you can see over here, if we want to transport 50 people by car, the amount of space it takes, and the amount of space it takes when we use a bus, and the amount of space it takes when we use a bicycle. It may seem that the bus is smaller, but think about it. The bicycle itself is kind of, like the bicyclist. Yeah. Yeah. They are like flowing water between the creeks of the stones. They don't need to stop for the traffic because there are gaps in between, like the roads. There are gaps between the footpaths and the buses and the trucks that are stopping the the people from going to their places. So the bicyclist can flow like water and they can reach their destination in proper time. So here comes my story. Let me start you at the beginning of I graduated from Canada and I came back over here in Bangladesh, and like any other, boy who has dreams in Bangladesh to have a good job, get married and have a car, maybe have some pets. So I started my life like that back in 2005, 2006. I bought a car and then I started commuting to my office. But when I started commuting to my office, my home is at Panthapath and my office is at Mirpur. I came to realize that each day I spend more than 3 hours in my car. So that was a total waste for me. So I decided, how can I get out of this misery? So what I did, I bought a motorbike. But then another problem started to occur. For some reason, the law implementers, the police force and the RAB, they don't like motorcyclists, I'm unfortunate to say. Like, whenever I wanted to go to my office, I had to stop 3 times. It happened that I thought of, making a necklace with all my license and the motorcycle license and all the thing and wear it, like my motorcycle. But I thought that will be, too much. My office colleagues might think that I'm getting crazy. So I decided to do something more adventurous and something more fun. And I'm a guy who don't like that much, like exercising or going to the gym. So I thought, why not I bicycle to my office and start doing that? So when I started doing that, I figured out that when I was commuting using my car, I was wasting 3 hours. But when I was using my bicycle, rather than wasting, I was enjoying the 50 minutes commute that it took in my life. So saving 2 hours daily, that comes about saving 10 hours in a week, 65 work days in a year, and 12 work years in a lifetime. The average life expectancy of people in Bangladesh is 68 years. So within your 68 years, you have the power to save the 12 years. Why I say so? Because when you are coming here was a little bit easier because it was early morning. But when you will be going here, can you imagine when you are going to home? That's the scenario. The average speed of a car in Dhaka is 7 kilometers per hour. Average speed of a bicycle is 14 kilometers per hour. So why would you choose if you have the power? So this is the way actually the story started with me. And when I was taking up cycle as my personal commute, several of my friends and family members and colleagues, they also saw the power of bicycle and they started picking up this culture. And thus, we started our weekend ride. This is a picture from one of our weekend rides. We go to the suburbs of Dhaka, to the actually outskirts of Dhaka. It takes around 25 minutes to 30 minutes to go outside of Dhaka, have a very nice time with friends and family. We started doing this in Friday morning, and we started calling it Bike Friday. Apart from that, we also started doing some long-distance endurance ride just to test our limits. We were getting better, we were getting fitter. So we did a 100-kilometer ride. We didn't stop there. We did a 200-kilometer ride, a 400-kilometer ride. The reason behind doing this, all these rides were done in under 24 hours. The reason behind putting this in front of this audience is if me and my friends can do 400 kilometers in a day, that's equivalent to going to Sylhet and coming back. Surely you can do 4 kilometers to your work area, right? So as people started taking more interest on it, the younger people and the old generation who are young by heart also started joining our rides. And this actually started a different sort of idea. So can you think about it? What was the problem? The problem was the traffic jam. But from the solution, actually a new sort of era is evolving. That is the bicycle culture of Bangladesh, the bicycle culture of this Dhaka city. So as we started, with Bike Fridays and weekend rides, we started growing bigger. This is a picture from our last Victory Day ride. We had near about 600 to 700 cyclists over there. And this is a picture from the recent Independence Day ride. We had more than 1,000 cyclists over there. So now, let me come back to the problem itself. The problem we started with was the traffic jam. Now we are solving another problem. What is that problem? Can anybody point me out? That problem is actually the lack of social bonding between people who is living one side of Dhaka to another people who is living in another side of Dhaka. Every morning, every Friday morning, people all around from Dhaka, it's actually going outside of Dhaka too nowadays. So they gather together, they do a social bonding, they meet each other, and they go for a ride, and they have a really good time doing that. So as the rides were, getting bigger, the businesses and the business mind also started catching up with the bicycle culture. This is a picture from a store that is called Cafe Cyclists, which actually caters the cyclist. And the idea is around 2 years back, when you wanted to fix your bicycle, there was no appropriate shop in Dhaka. Not only in Dhaka, in whole Bangladesh, all you could do is just go to the footpath side rickshaw mechanic and talk it out with them with your bicycle and try to fix it. But nowadays, these shops are coming out. This is an example of selling bicycle culture where foods are being served, where your bicycle is being fixed, and you can buy cycle-related components and accessories over there. So that was my story. Let me share some stories from fellow of my cycle buddies. Meet over here, Mozammel Haque. He is a lecturer of East West University. He is in his late 40s. He is a very avid cyclist. He bikes to work. He goes to his university with a set of clothes in his backpack. He goes there, he changes it, does his work over there, and comes back. So what gain he is getting out of it? Previously, he wasn't that much fitter, but now he's super fit. He is beating people half of his age in our cycle races. So this is the community development that is going around behind. The whole culture is bunch of people who are started cycling are getting fitter, and they are getting more into healthy activities. Meet Ishtiaq Mahmoud. He's a father of two, a loving husband, and a branch manager of Bragg Bank. He was the branch manager of Mokbajar branch, and the Mokbajar branch was just being created at that moment. They were just building it up. So what he did, he loves to commute to his work using his bicycle. So he installed a shower facility, which to my knowledge is the first one in a bank when being installed, targeted for cyclists. So this is the culture that is being penetrating through our society, and we need this sort of support from everyone. And see how beautiful it looks. Ishtiaq Bhai riding with his two daughters in one of our rides. Last but not the least, meet Millia. She's head of service delivery of Citibank, and she does a sort of another kind of ride. It's like they have their own girls community who also does their own ride together, which is like goes like this. Like they go to different places. Right now they are actually in Chittagong and enjoying a ride together with all the girls that she is involved with and riding together. So more power to them. So as I said, like many of you, I don't like exercising. But think about the lifestyle that we are given nowadays. Just 2 generations back, our grandparents and maybe their dads, their life wasn't anywhere close to ours. They weren't this much doing, like always sitting in your chair, in your office chair, or when you're home, you are, like in your couch or anything. So cycling actually helps you to break out of this habit. We weren't born to be like this. We were born to use our bodies for our daily commute or our daily activities. So when one starts taking up cycling, it actually brings back that equilibrium that is missing in our daily life. And some other benefits is like, there is a misconception that goes around with general people, which is like cycling can bring back pain, but a proper fitted bicycle that is targeted for your height and your body will actually lessen your back pain, because cycling helps development of your core muscles that involves the area, your back and your other area where the pain initiates from, but it helps reducing the back pain, it helps reducing the waistline, builds muscle and heel joints, and it's a great cardiovascular exercise. I want to emphasize on healing joints, because cycling involves a circular motion. There is another misconception that says, like, if you cycle too much, you will have knee pain. But the knee pain doesn't come from cycling too much. Knee pain comes from using an improper bicycle. With a proper bicycle height, you will have more circulation in your joints, and you will have a better, healthy body, a fitter body. So here is one slide that I want to share. An average person loses around 13 pounds of first year of riding to work. And here is me 1 year ago. Here is me 1 year back with my beautiful wife. There's another culture that is missing in Dhaka society, especially the expats who are living in Dhaka. I think they will agree pretty much more, which is like whenever we meet with friends or meet with families, I find that only thing we do is like go to a restaurant, eat, and then come back. There is no outdoor activity, proper outdoor activity that enables us to do, something else other than just going out and eating. But cycling, it enables us to go and explore different areas of Dhaka, different areas that is outside Dhaka, different rural areas, meet those people. Even if you are into, testing foods, you can go outside of Dhaka and test some exotic foods over there. Actually, that is happening. Many of our fellow cyclists, they go to Mawaghat, which is near about 50 kilometers away from here, and they have hilcha fry, and then they come back, because that place is very much known for hilcha fishes. And so, other than that, I want to also point out one important thing, that is it bridges the social divide. Why I would like to say so? Because in our rides, in our group rides, I have found owners of like international companies, and they are riding bicycle just beside owner of a rickshaw mechanic shop, and they are having a productive conversation. The rickshaw mechanic shop is asking that leader, business leader, how can he like take up his business to the next level? How can he cater this society? How can he cater his services to him? So this sort of platform that the cycling has given to our society, I think that's very much new and very much praiseworthy. And last but not the least is like it promotes a social trust and bonding. When you are, say like if I call for a ride, for a bicycle ride, when you are coming with me and with my group, then you sort of trust your life with us because we are taking you in places which you don't know or haven't been there. So, like this overall culture has also started a social trust and bonding between the citizens of Dhaka. So I would love to say over here, like, actually this is a catchword that I say, give me cycle space and I will give you a happy, healthy, and fit nation. Talking about happy, healthy, and fit, there are like 3 of my cycle buddies. They quit smoking when they started cycling. Why is that so? Because they weren't able to cope up with me and my fellow friends who doesn't smoke. So quitting smoking is tough, we understand, but it is not impossible. So these are the people who already did it. Not only it promotes like good habits, cycling, but it helps to regulate the sleep cycle, and also another thing, cycling works as an antidepressant. There is, say, like, you cannot bicycle with a grumpy face. Cycling always puts a smile on your face. So, as I'm saying, cycling always puts a smile on your face. Did you know that Denmark, Norway, Switzerland, Netherlands, and Sweden, they are one of the topmost cycling nations, and they are also one of the topmost happy nations? There is a correlation in between. Our cycling community is also one of the happiest online and offline community in Dhaka. So just do the connection and you'll see the connection behind. Apart from this, another cultural development that cycling can bring into this society is when we are commuting by car or by any other means of commute in Dhaka, what do we see? Maybe Dhaka is also very much known for getting honked or honking with your car. Each and every time we see people getting stressed out. The drivers are bashing other cars, they are racing on the road, they're always trying to like go and beat the other guy. But this actually also influences the work life, and it also penetrates, the stress also penetrates into other areas of our life. That is my belief. So rather than going by a car, when I'm taking my bicycle, what I am doing is actually I'm enjoying my ride to my work and I'm getting my workout done. When I'm at my office, I'm taking a shower and then I'm starting my day with a fresh mind. So the difference is between starting the day with a fresh mind and starting the day with an irritated mind. And when you multiply this effect in a nationwide, in overall Dhaka, you will see there is a connection between a happy nation and an unhappy nation. So, would you like to take up cycling? What should you do in Dhaka? I would like to share some of the stuff that I have learned from my last 3 or 4 years of active cycling in Dhaka. It's like, when you want to buy a cycle, please don't buy the cheapest bicycle out there in the market. Do a little bit of research. There are several good shops in Dhaka now sells very good bicycles. Prices are ranges from 12,000 Dhaka and onwards. So do a little bit research. Just don't buy the cheapest possible bicycle over there, because most of the time the cheapest bicycle are generally one-time use type of bicycle which starts breaking down the moment you buy it and start riding to your home. And another thing that I say, that your bicycle should not cost less than your mobile phone, but that's just a thing that I share with my friends. Because your life depends on your bicycle, right? And third point is pretty much important that I want to emphasize, like, you are not totally free on your bicycle unless you learn how to fix your flats. Fixing your flats is equivalent to fueling your car in a gas station. That's what we cyclists say. So I urge, if anyone wants to take up cycling, don't just like buy a cycle, at least do this effort and learn to fix your own flats, then you will be really free. And join our community rides. What are the community rides that currently we have? Here are some of the community rides we have. We have Bike Friday, that's being held in every Friday morning. Then we have Joshila Saturday, that's in the Saturday. That's a little bit more adventurous one. We have Critical Mass, which is in last Friday of every month, we have a very big cycle ride with, we call all the cyclists all around in Dhaka, and that happens in last Friday of every month. And there are other rides where also you can join. There are community races too. And I know that many of you might have many questions. This TED format might not allow question answering, but obviously you can join our group and our website. Into the next slide. Here you go. So you can just go to btcyclists.com. Over there, you will find there is a QA page. There are classifieds, mind maps for which bicycle you want to buy. There are event notification and races. And obviously, if you go to bit.ly/btcyclists, it will forward to our Facebook group where you can join. So I will end my presentation with a call for you to be a part of the solution, not be a part of the problem.